Joe Wilson, hello.
Hello.
Joe Wilson, welcome to WayneWorld, the show about Fort Wayne, Allen County. Folks that live and work in Fort Wayne make it a cool place. You are one of my colleagues at Home Depot, and you are a cool cat because you know stuff about electronics. What do you know? What department are you in Home Depot on Lima Road?
The electrical department.
And so you know this and that about electrical. I know this and that about flooring. You know a lot about music because back in the day, you were in a group that I'm familiar with, and I've looked it up called the Classic. Is it the Classics Four?
Yep.
And you told me about some of the music. I can't remember the. Tell me again the song that you that if someone looked it up, they wouldn't see you necessarily, but they would hear you. What is one or two songs? Give me one song that you're proud of that is kind of sort of known back in the day.
Well, we actually had three pretty big hits. One of them was called Spooky. That was the first one. Second one, I think, was Stormy. And then a song called Traces.
Ooh, see, I know those songs, especially Traces. I can hear it, boy. It's a beautiful song. Now, you didn't write it, but you performed on it, correct?
Right. Yeah, I was just part of the group.
And were and are a guitarist, aren't you?
I am. I also play keyboard. I just bought a brand new keyboard. I'm sitting here looking at it. It's a new Yamaha SX 900.
It, Joe, if I wanted to take keyboard lessons or guitar lessons, do you ever tutor?
I don't usually do that. I haven't. I could. I just not interested in doing it
Oh, really?
because most people want to learn. Most kids, I mean, they want to learn. They want you to teach them a song, and that's not really learning to play. That's me learning.
Now, I'm not interested in necessarily. Well, I'm interested, but not enough in learning guitar or keyboard. But if I were, and if I said, Joe, I live in Fort Wayne, I'm interested in learning guitar or keyboard, and you gave me a rate. In other words, is it theoretically possible? And you could tell that I was interested. Maybe we did one test class session, and would you ever 2023 or 2024? Would you ever tutor someone? Is it possible?
As far as keyboard goes, I am not really a keyboard player, but I know music theory, so I can make all the chords, and I use a keyboard to write songs with. Like playing solos and stuff like that on or playing songs on the keyboard, not my thing.
Now, how about guitar though?
Guitar is my main instrument.
So if I said, Joe, I want to learn guitar, I'm game, I'm open, I'm on board. Uh, Again, I'm not, but if I were, when could we start, Joe? Could we start next week?
Probably not.
What? Why?
I'm just not interested in doing that.
Even if I'm interested, you're not interested, right?
Right.
Okay. What are you? Oh, in the store in Home Depot, you are electronically inclined. In your life, what have you done that has made you electronically inclined? That you know a little bit about electronics.
Well, I worked at a place called Guardian up in Auburn. I was in production. We made automotive glass. I was there 6 months, and they had an opening for maintenance, and they like to hire from within. I applied for the job, and I got it. I asked them, I said, why do you guys not hire somebody with 20 years experience? And their answer was, we can train you to work on our stuff, but we can't train you not to show up for work, use drugs. You've never been late. You got a good attitude. But would you be willing to go take 16 classes at Ivy Tech? We'll pay for your books, pay for your schooling, and there will be 4 classes in each module. We'll give you a 25-cent raise for each class. And when you complete a module with Larry Bowen, electrical engineer, we'll give you a $1 raise. I said, you got to be kidding me. You mean you're giving me a whole new career? And you want to know, like if I'll actually do that? Of course. So I did all that and was in maintenance at Guardian Industries. And of course, Larry Bowen, electrical engineer, told me, he said, Joe, he says, in here, you will not get shocked. You will explode. Everything we got here is 480 volts, over 1,000 amps, 277. We do very little 120 volt. Every now and then we might put a plug on the end of a cord, but mainly we were troubleshooting high voltage things.
Did you ever get shocked?
No.
Did you ever explode?
No.
Because you did the right things and followed proper protocol, right?
Well, my first assignment, the very first thing I had my radio, I had my toolbox, had everything. And Rod Laux, he was my supervisor. He was really great, by the way. He's an amazing person. He said, Joe, go down to the washer number 3 or whatever it was. We had several of them. He said, it's not holding temperature. Go down and take a look at it. I said, Rod, I don't know anything about a washer. This is my first day in maintenance. I'm having to learn this stuff. He said, well, go down, lock it out, shut it off, lock out, tag out, and take a look, see what you see. Well, I go down there, I kill the power, put my lock on it, and my initial, it tells who, it's got my picture on my lock. Because if you go home and you leave something locked out, they're not cutting your lock off. You're coming back to remove your lock. Because I think by law, they can't cut it off. So I went in there and the first thing I looked at was our 3-phase power. Now, we use single phase at home.
Wait, okay. Does this story end well or not?
Yeah, it ends well. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
So I go in there and I look at the power. That's the first thing I look at because that's where you want to start. It's got 3 wires. One of them's not hooked up. Wow. I wonder if that could be it. So I hooked that up, tighten it up real good, go out, remove my lock, turn the power back on, problem solved.
The moral of the story is if something is not working 49% of the time, the power is not current, is not on, is not active.
Well, that's where you want to start. It might be something else.
Yeah.
If you look there first, that's where it begins.
How is it that you were working in Auburn, Indiana? How did you come to Indiana originally?
Originally, I came here to work for Sweetwater.
Sweetwater Music.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Now,
what?
I was working with Mel Tillis in Branson, Missouri. I've known the Tillis family since Pam was a teenager. I've done multiple albums with Mel and a whole bunch of other people in Nashville, of course.
Did Mel Tillis ever come to Sweetwater?
No.
Okay.
But I was in touch with Kenny Burgle, who works at Sweetwater, and we'd bought a lot of stuff from him. I was looking to get out of the quote music business because it was I don't know, it was kind of up and down. You don't never know if you got a job the next day. And so I called Kenny, and Kenny said, Joe, with your resume, you need to talk to Chuck. He might do something a little different for you since you're not just out of college and you know. Well, he did. Chuck told me, he said, don't whatever you do, don't breathe a word of this. Because everybody at that time was it was 100%, everything was you got to sell to make money.
What year was that approximately?
Well, it was whenever they were on Bass Road.
I don't know when that, how many years ago was that?
Oh, 20?
20 years ago. So 20 years ago, you came to the area.
I came to the area, I think, in 97.
Mm. And where did you come from? Where were you before 97?
I was in Branson, Missouri.
Branson, Missouri. I've heard a million great things about Branson, and I've never been there. I need to go to Branson, Missouri.
Well, it's a tourist town. It actually got started. It was a place had great outdoors. It had great fishing, and I think two groups started these family bands. I think the Ball Knobbers were one, and the Presleys. They were the two that started playing music for people that came there, and it just kind of grew and took off from there.
Joe, what is the charm so I need to go to Branson. You have sold me on Branson. But you have been in the Ft.Wayne area for 25 years. And there's a charm to the Ft.Wayne area for you. There is a charm. What is the charm to Ft.Wayne in your brain?
What was the charm?
Yeah, what keeps you staying here? Why do you enjoy Ft.Wayne?
My wife likes it here.
Why does she like Ft.Wayne?
She's got Filipino friends here. She's Filipino, and they have close knits. So my daughter is in Nashville. It wouldn't bother me if I moved to Nashville tomorrow, but I think I'm stuck.
Filipinos, this is a broad generalization, but Filipinos that I have seen 1,000 times are the most service-hearted folks. They serve the world. The world, if Filipinos were not in the mix, would be a much more barren place, a much unfriendlier place. And so God bless your wife. If she's half of what I've seen, she adds great kindness to the Ft.Wayne area. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Well, I encourage folks to come to the Ft.Wayne Home Depot electronics department. Are there any products that you're especially warm to or good at or like?
Well, when I applied at Home Depot, I wanted to be the lot lizard. I wanted to bring in carts and get a little exercise. I didn't want to have to deal with that many people. And Stacy, who was our store manager at the time, she saw my resume. She said, Joe, you've had all these classes, Ivy Tech? I said, Stacy, that's all industrial maintenance. I said, the only thing we got in common with residential is we both use electricity. That's it. Everything else is different.
She said, sold.
No, she said, I'm going to put you in electrical. And then she said, well, I'll give you more money, but you're going to electrical. Okay, but I don't know what I'm doing there. So I'm learning on the job.
When I first applied to Home Depot, they for 1 minute they had me. I didn't do it, but they had me outside bringing in parts. Also, Joe Wilson, you are a crackerjack at the Home Depot in Ft.Wayne, Indiana, and I love working with you. Thank you, sir, for being a guest on WayneWorld.
Is this WayneWorld?
Yes, sir.